Hello and welcome to the Australian NASCAR eSeries. I am your host, Bryce Manning, and I'm joined by Jason Holdsworth from the commentary box. Jason, good evening. How are you doing tonight?
Good evening, Bryce. Quite well. Disappointed, obviously, the race to jump in the box, but a change has been out there, something a little different.
That it is something a bit different. Normally we used to seeing you out there, as you said, but not going out there tonight at Watkins, Glen. Instead, you're going to be offering your assistance here tonight. As I'm sure some people will know, I'm being much quieter than usual, so I got family over, and I won't be able to get loud, so it's actually really helpful. Jason's here tonight, and Nigel will be joining us shortly, but we're just going to push over into qualifying now here tonight. And we'll get the party started. Looking at a modest grid here tonight, we believe 25 cars in total.
We've got 30 so far.
30 so far? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good amount. We got Nick Bottrell here exiting pit lane, going out to start his warm-up lap. But yeah, it is going to be a good, exciting race here tonight. It's a bit of out of our usual calendar. Well, I say it's out of the usual for NASCAR here. We normally used to seeing these cars dart around ovals this season, but there are a few road courses. Watkins Glen is one of them, and it's one of the better ones to race on, in my opinion, although some other members of the box may not like road courses whatsoever.
But I do like the Glen. It's probably less technical than, say, Coda is. So I can get around this place. But yeah, tonight, obviously, I'm in the box.
Well, we're happy to have you here, and even us to talk even if you're not racing now. We're gonna have a look. A lot of the drivers are out setting laps currently. I think the only ones who aren't out at the moment, Matt Danson, Tyler Williams, Aiden Schultz, Jaden Russell, Ricky Hyde, and Ruben Phelps. They're the only ones who aren't out going to set a lap. So we've got Nick Bottrell at the moment. We'll jump over once his lap's done, and we'll see if we can get on another lap with one of our other drivers. We're going to jump over one of the drivers who's been performing very consistently this season after joining us later on, and that's Matt Bailey. So Matt Bailey in the 117, he's looking to get a good result tonight, using all the width on the exit of the track there. That might be an off track just because he hit the grass. You can use all of the exit curbing on that particular corner. This one, it's limited. You have to stay on that ripple strip. And it's the same with turn one. You have to use the ripple strip. Now, real life NASCAR, they let you go all the way out. They use all of the runoff where it's available to you, and where you can do it. So Williams goes fastest with a 1 minute 12.6. Bailey gets the second fastest time provisionally, but these are only the first ones that will roll through, and you'll see a lot more drivers put in a time. Nick Bottrell provisional pole position with a 1 minute 12.27. Someone who's looking to beat that would be Brad Newman. So Brad Newman performed very well here in the Truck Series race earlier on across both seasons, and he'll be looking to have a really good result. I think the only thing that happened with Brad's race that could be improved could have been improved was the strategy. Ultimately, the early stop not paying off for the number 40 at the end, which led the way for Wayne Burke to stamp his name into Watkins Glen victory lane and book himself a playoff ticket. Now, he's also in the field here tonight, so we'll be keeping an eye on Wayne Burke. We'll just jump over to him now. So he's finished his first lap, hasn't set a time, so would have been validated or gone for a double warm-up, and now looks to be putting down a fast lap. Now, Jason, how do you find Watkins Glen in the Xfinity car? Have you done much practice here this week, or just haven't had time?
I didn't have time with, obviously, the ANC Championships on Sunday. I spent more time building that setup. Happy with that position that I did achieve on Sunday. But yeah, I did get to spend Watkins, Glen, just wanted to focus on that. So yeah, I know my team have been doing very well here, but my team are a fair bit more talented on a road course.
Yes, there's a lot of quick drivers I know in the Nitro camp are good on the road courses. They are on the ovals. And just a quick shout out to the SRM team. They had a very good night at Rockingham last Friday. Unfortunately, we weren't able to provide a broadcast because I was having power trouble. The whole house was actually dark from 8:30 onwards, so even if I could start the race, we definitely wouldn't have been able to capture the end. But Lockie Hugo on screen now, he took the win at Rockingham. Yes, at Rockingham last Friday night. His teammate Ruben Phelps came in second, and Maddie Ray also picked up a top 5 finish. So a very good night for the SRM Australia team. Just giving them a quick shout out, as we did miss out on last Friday night. So Lockie Cujo, he'll look to get into the playoffs of the Xfinity Series as well. We should be coming to the end of qualifying just soon. See if we can jump on with another driver. Let's go for Andy Barber.
I have been following the officials this week, and I am expecting a very good result out of Matthew Budd. Obviously, we're going to state the obvious with Shane. Probably odds-on favourite to win the race. Let's put that out there. I know the SRM boys have been doing a lot of work, and were very quick yesterday as a bunch.
Absolutely, they always bring a pretty quick car no matter what circuit. I think there's only been a few times where I've seen those cars outside the top 15 on average, so going to be exciting to see where they end up again. The highest SRM car is currently Matthew Raymond in P9, not too far behind is his teammate Lockie Cujo in 13th. So a lot of opportunity, and Matthew Budd still not setting a time, Ruben Phelps still not setting a time. But we did have a Nigel step into the booth, and he's not going to get away with not being able to speak. So Nigel, welcome to the commentary booth this evening. How are you doing?
Good evening, Bryce. Good evening to everybody listening in. I'm going good. I just finished work, so I will be leaving you very shortly to eat some food because I haven't eaten since 10 o'clock this morning. And yeah, I will be back.
That's all right. We'll be waiting for your return with bated breath, I'm sure. But no, enjoy. Go grab some food, and we'll talk to you later on tonight, as we should be ending qualifying here. Shane Van Gisbergen. Oh, that's hard off into the wall for Matthew Budd. That's going to spell the end of his qualifying. So Matthew Budd, he'll pull out a P5, but no opportunity to improve any further by the looks of it. Shane Van Gisbergen, as Jason just said, was on favourite to win the race, and he's currently gone into pole position by a clear margin of 0.4 of a second. So that's a very, very fast lap there for Shane Van Gisbergen, and I would not be surprised if we see him skip off into the distance come the first couple of laps of this race. Now, a lot of differences when it comes to iRacing and iRacing on an oval and iRacing on a road course. So on our ovals, you'll be familiar with our cautions and our cautions that bring out the pace car, and it stacks everyone up, and everyone gets a shot at doing a full field restart. We're not going to have any of that tonight because we're only going to have local cautions here on the racetrack. So no full field cautions, meaning we will have green flag running from end to end. One of the only times I think we'll ever get a green flag end to end, or will ever have a certainty of getting a green flag end to end is when we come to our road courses, I should say, but because every other time there's always a chance for a wreck. And that's just NASCAR happens in the professional series, and it'll happen here too. And it's one of the elements that we love watching, because the cautions do breed some really good close racing again, especially if it's kind of stagnated. And it also throws a bit of a wrench in the mix when it comes to strategy, and I'm sure Jason as well as myself, we're both understanding that that can be a great thing for viewing, but also a terrible thing if you're actually driving in it, and it puts a bit of a fork into your strategy.
I assume tonight we're probably going to see something similar to what we saw on the weekend at the Glen. First lap, don't forget in the Cup race, there was a bit of argy-bargy going into the bus stop. Incident caused there. Turn 1 through the S's, when on lap 1 they're going probably 2 wide, at times 3 wide. But I do expect this race to fan out as well. So we should get some good hard racing at the start, definitely. But then I reckon you're going to see some very quick times by the drivers as things separate out.
Absolutely. These first couple of corners are perilous here at the Glen. Could always have someone, and I know I've been a victim of it in races held here in the Xfinity Series when it comes to the officials. You go into turn 1, you're on the front 2 rows, and then suddenly there's someone spearing off into the runoff who's completely missed their braking marker and gone 10-pin bowling down the main straight. So it definitely has the opportunity for that to happen. Now all the drivers here are of a considerably better skill than I would say what you need to pull off that, but there's a chance of it happening, and I honestly wouldn't be too upset if it did. It'd be something for me to lose my mind about, and then get loud, and then proceededly get in trouble tonight.
I think you're perfectly capable. You'll be fine.
I'll be fine. Yeah, I think I'll be fine. I'm not too sure, but there's a lot of cars snaking up that hill right now. So as we wait for the warm up to sort itself out, we do have the results from qualifying. We can just go over very quickly. So results from qualifying, if it never does this, Jason. It never starts on the right side, Jason. Shane Van Gisbergen took out pole position tonight, followed by his teammate on the front row in Brad Newman. Wayne Burke is in P3, Nick Bottrell P4, Matthew Budd, he's bringing home SRM's top place finish in a top place qualifying in P5. Brent Hobson in 6, Matt Danson finishes qualifying in P7, Andy Barber in P8, Dave Douglas in P9, Lockyer QJ, your previous season champion, in P10, Kobe Williams in the 11th spot, Trent Godsley and Matthew Raymond are 12th and 13th, Dean Powell in 14th, Bradley Curtis in 15th, Matt Bailey comes home in 16th, or comes to the grid in 16th place, Ricky Hyde in 17th, Tom Pritchard in 18th, Jaden Russell in 19th, Darren McKenzie in 20th, Aaron Gilbert in 21st, James Kai Klink in 22nd, King 23rd, Aaron Dorman in P24, Marty Mitchell is in the 25th spot, Brian Blundell and Tim Blundell 26th and 27th respectively, Ruben Phelps with no time set in 28th, and Aiden Schultz has no time set, and Tyler J. Williams no time set. So all those drivers electing to either start at the back or just missing qualifying here tonight. Got a couple more minutes just to wait until we get racing here tonight at the Glen. So Jason, Shane's a favourite to win. Do you have any other drivers who you could see on the top step of the podium if something were to go wrong with the
I'm probably going to take the Truck Series winner, Wayne. Obviously, he has the talent. If you've ever seen him in a V8, obviously there's a bit of similarities between this guy and the V8. I think he will do very well. I have seen Matthew Budd do quite well in a race yesterday, so I expect to see him up there. But any of the guys that come over from V8 supercars, expect them to place very highly.
Absolutely. I would put money on Wayne Burke as well. We did win here in the trucks with the strategy that ended up being the right one on the night. Definitely has the pace to keep up with Brad Newman. Now, we'll have to see how the strategy plays out tonight. I'm expecting a similar lap 27 laps to a 10. Right here tonight. Ooh, 27 laps I would expect, maybe a little less here tonight. So it's going to throw a bit of a wrench in when it comes to strategy. Do you want to push it long, or do you want to get in and take tyres sooner? So I don't expect drivers to hold out on taking tyres either. If they're like, we'll definitely grab some each time they come down to pit lane as well.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
You've seen paint. Obviously, there is 4 lots in these cars.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a the tyres wear here, and you don't want to double stint them if you have the option to put on a new set of tyres each time you come down. So it should only be a 2-stop race tonight, and you have two sets of tyres over the wall, so you may as well use them. You're not going to get a caution to have to save them for like you would on an oval. If there was a green-white checker late, so you really don't have to worry about that. Just use what you've got, use them to put as much lap time on the board as you can, and get the race won. So we'll fix a problem that I've just seen on our thing. We'll head into the gridding phase. It's 44 laps here tonight. Look at me. I'm
1-stop race.
I'm saying it's going to be 2. It's definitely going to be a 1-stop race if we can get out to 27 laps. So there's no point in saving a set of tyres because, well, you only have to come down once. So,
I can confirm you get to lap 31.
Lap 31.
Without significant fuel saving. So lap 30 with no fuel saving. So the guys will definitely only be down once. I believe that will be the strategy. But when they come in, obviously, you can undercut, overcut. I'm not too sure when they'll be coming in.
You can undercut, you can overcut, you can sling it, split it down the middle, pit lap 22, if you really want. I don't know. I don't think that would be optimal, really. You'd probably want to see what your race says, but at the moment, getting ready to grid. I would be in the camp of team pit early. I would try the undercut. Yeah, it would be something fun and interesting. It does leave you vulnerable at the end of your longer run, but might be an option to run early. Even actually no, saying on second thought, probably go long because you can't adjust the fuel in these cars. If it was a GT3, then you'd be able to do the undercut, put a lighter amount of fuel in, then roll it off. But we're going to see Shane Van Gisbergen elect to start from pit lane here tonight. So Shane's giving himself a bit of a challenge. I actually like that. I think it's going to be very fun. It's going to add some entertainment through, as we'll have more battling through the pack here tonight. And it's going to give Wayne Burke.
This is going to make things very interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be really good as we roll around a full pace lap here tonight. So all the drivers got ample time to warm up the tyres, make sure they've got enough grip going down into turn 1, make sure they're mentally prepared to start this race as well. We'll have a rolling start. And it's going to be Wayne Burke and Brad Newman. They fought it out in the truck series, so they're going to fight it out again here tonight for the race win. And then we're going to have a couple of drivers join us who are currently residing down in pit lane. Being Shane Van Gisbergen, Tyler J. Williams, and Aiden Schultz, all just electing to start from the lane here tonight. Or electing to start, or alternatively, missing the grid timer. Because we have a warm-up session, the grid timer is shortened from its usual 2 minutes down to, I believe it's a minute and a half. Or even less than.
I believe Tyler has actually had some internet issues. He's dropped out of the server.
That's not good for Tyler Williams. Hopefully he hops back into the server within enough time to get his race underway. Otherwise it's going to be a very unfortunate start to his Watkins Glen race. But we've got at least 28 cars here tonight who are ready to go. 27 on the road at the moment, 1 in the pit lane waiting to come in. Get the pace car off short. Go ahead, Jesse.
I think what will be the deciding factor is pit stop and clean air. Clean air is king here.
Absolutely. As we got the green flag signal from Barney, and we're racing here at Watkins Glen. So it's going to be Brad Newman running his way down to turn 1. Wayne Burke in tow with 3 wide further on backwards. Dave Douglas, another synergy car. Oh, Dave Douglas going to get turned around here in turn 1. He's gone spinning off into the weeds. Really, Dave Douglas dropping all the way back down, spins it around, and will get back into the start of this race. But a big crash here at the start of turn 1. I was talking about it earlier. Oh, there's 225 and Nick Bottrell's also crashed. Darren McKenzie involved as well. So a lot of cars here involved in wrecks early on. Got a big pack running down the back straight. Andy Barber throwing a block further on back in the pack. As you just saw, I believe that was on Jaden Russell in the 026 car. But we're going to spread out. Everyone, there's more crashing involved. I think it's Dave Douglas again. Oh no, Aaron Gilbert involved. That's Aaron Dorman as well. So the Aarons have come together into the bus stop, and they've crashed out. A lot of things are happening.
I believe it was Riley Curtis as well.
We'll have a look.
The lap 1 drama.
The lap 1 dramas have started. We have replays of all of them as well, so we'll go through them all here tonight. But Brad Newman's going to lead. It says lap 4. Unsure why it says lap 4, but because we just finished the first lap. Quickly refresh the time and tell us if anything's happening, unless it counted the pace lap itself, which would be interesting. Okay, apparently it's...
I can't confirm it is lap 2 though.
It is lap 2.
I've not missed any laps.
The timing tower is telling Porkies it is currently lap 2. Maybe it's just counted the formation lap and it thinks we're on lap 2 of lap 44, or lap 4 of lap 44. Don't know. It should fix itself in due time as more data gets filled into it. But we're going to have a look at what happened to Dave Douglas down into turn 1. So this was Dave on the run down to turn 1. He was 3 wide Kobe Williams, then with Matt Danson. Just comes through, just gets a little bit of a door, or runs a little bit wide, hits a bit of the door of the 81, spins around, gets hit by Darren McKenzie. There's nowhere really Darren could go, unfortunately, there. So Nick Bottrell also had a moment. So we'll have a look at what happened to Nick Bottrell. Again, he was right in that pack. He was just a little bit further ahead, so he comes through and he gets pushed around. I think it's going to be Matt Danson. He's just going to come across the front of Matt Danson and get turned into the inside barrier and he'll collect the wall.
I think he got a little loose on those river strips there.
Yeah, it looks like it. The rear of the car just got pitched, and Darren McKenzie just gave him another smack for good measure as well on the way out. We'll have a look. This is Aaron Gilbert getting crashing out at the bus stop. So Ricky Hyde and Riley Curtis are the cars around him now. So Aaron Gilbert on the inside goes all the way and hits the wall and bounces back in, takes Riley Curtis with him, does a loop. Aaron Dorman there as well, crashing out. So have a look at what happened to Aaron just now. Lots of action happening here. I believe it was just Ruben Phelps and Aaron Dorman. Oh no, it was just Aaron Dorman, I think, getting loose all by himself. Yep, just getting loose and spinning out into the bus stop. So pretty tame incident there. And we also had Darren McKenzie crashing again. So coming in, that's a very bent race car there, trying to go through the bus stop, and just
that
rolls off.
Turning.
And it won't turn. And that was Darren all done there. So not the Watkins Glen race for Darren McKenzie, as that will be his night done and dusted. We'll jump back to live pictures now. And Brad Newman, he's out in the lead, a half a second over Wayne Burke. Danson trails behind 2.4 seconds, just in front of Kobe Williams and Matthew Budd. Shane Van Gisbergen's already made his way up to P10. So a mighty charge there within the first couple of laps. It still says lap 4, and I believe at the moment we are actually on lap 4, so the timing tower has fixed itself. And the problem has been rectified, but it's going to be quite interesting. It's going to be Shane Van Gisbergen making his way through on James Kai Klink. Winner of the Atlanta, I believe he won at Atlanta Series just
Yep, last
last
week.
week.
He was awarded the win.
With all of the chaos that happened at the end of that race. I'm just trying to remember if it was him or no John. It was John.
No, John won the truck race.
John won the truck
Brad
race.
Newman actually made it to the line first, but there was an incident between Dave Douglas, Stevie Dub, and Brad Newman, which
Yes, it
would have been the top three, I believe. But obviously, incidents put them down so they hit the limit.
Yes, they did. They hit the limit and they got moved back in the order, and then it promoted John Bradshaw up to the P1 position until he got his first win. That was the trucks. Sorry, it was James Coe Clinton in Series. Throws me through a loop when we do these two races at the same track in 1 week. It's in the span of a couple of days. My brain they meld into one at some point, but we're going to be looking forward to the rest of this race. It looks like Matthew Raymond is the next on Shane Van Gisbergen, the rest of drivers to pass. So Matty Ray is probably not going to fight this one all too hard. He's probably going to focus in on getting a top 10 finish and staying in front of James Kai Klink, and maybe trying to bridge the gap to some of the other drivers in the top 10, as it's about a 7-second gap now between him and Matt Bailey. Well, 5-second
Matty Ray
gap,
is very
between
strong
Matt
here
Bailey.
at Watkins Glen. He played, I believe he was fifth in the truck. So expect a good showing from Matty Ray. And what will be interesting, obviously, is just moved off Shane now. He's got 13 seconds to catch the leader. And
He does.
8 cars between him and first. So we'll probably come back to that a little bit later. That's, I think, going to be enough, something interesting to watch with the timing.
It's James Kai Klink and Ricky Hyde at the moment, two of the closest cars on track. Sorry, scratch that. Lockie Ugio and Tom Pritchard. Oh, we just cut over and they got involved together. So Tom Pritchard is off into the weeds. It looks like Lockie Ugio maybe getting involved in a little bit of contact. We'll jump back and have a look at what happened just as we switched over to between Tom Pritchard and Lockie Ugio. Tom Pritchard there running down into the bus stop. Lockie looking to his inside, darts towards it, comes in. Both just kind of drive. Lockie gets on the wrong side really of the exit, just kind of rolls over the curb wrong and drives into the quarter panel of Tom Pritchard by the looks of things from that angle. We'll jump back live and see if we can get a in-car camera from Lockie Ugio on that one, but from that angle it doesn't bode well. Come to protest, if there was protest left on from that angle, it doesn't bode well. We will reserve judgment on our former series champion until we see all the angles, but maybe in hot water. It looks like Shane Van Gisbergen, as we were just watching that, has made the move on Matthew Raymond. Matty Ray probably, as I said, not looking to fight that one all too much, trying to save his tyres, trying to make them last the next 36 or 38 laps. 38 laps, no, 37 laps. Is good here in the box. We are good mathematicians. Don't ask us to do the tax. We probably get it wrong. His top 10 have spaced out pretty well. Wayne Burke just not able to get to the back of Brad Newman to challenge for the win at the moment. And it's still early days, still got 36 laps left to go. But at the moment we're not going to see anything from that. So 34 of Tyler Williams and the 052 of Aiden Schultz, they look to be out of the race this evening. Dean Powell also out. Darren McKenzie, he's in the pit lane with damage. Looks like Trent Gosley also no longer in the session. Aaron Gilbert also no longer in the session. So a few drivers out here early on. So still on Cynic now. Back on the right one. Everyone's just chilled out for the moment, so we're going to be looking to see if there's anything happening here. Dave Douglas and Riley Curtis are fighting for position here. both teammates, both not gonna. I think there won't be any team orders at this point. I think both will be racing each other for position. Upwards and upwards. Ruben Phelps has made good progress through the field. He's up 26 positions here tonight. Now, Jason, you were talking about a couple of drivers here tonight, all of which in the top 10. Matthew Budd, he's been running very consistent lap times here. Kobe Williams did make his way by. Matthew Budd down into 5th. We should have an opportunity to get up to 5th, but what would you be doing here if you're in Matthew Budd's situation? He's got Hobson chasing him down. We know Hobson's not slow, he's quite quick in a supercar, so what would your advice be to Matty Budd in this situation, and what would you maybe do if you were in his position?
I would get off those rear tyres. I know you can easily beat them up too much in this car. Just concentrate on not burning him off and holding position, obviously. That would be my main focus. Obviously, it's some very good drivers ahead, and there's a stack of good drivers behind him as well. So yeah, I would probably just looking to get in a rhythm and knock down some of this lap.
Absolutely, it's all about that rhythm, isn't it? Here, if you're in the rhythm, then you can do well and you can set good lap after good lap. Especially when it comes to the bus stop. If you're one of the drivers who are up the front, you're probably taking this bus stop really, really aggressively. So you don't want to lose concentration going through there. It's probably one of the corners that can make or break your entire race. Very close to danger. If you hit it, then there's a good chance you will rip off the right front wheel. If you spin out, good chance you're going into the barrier. So one of the corners that's very important here tonight is the bus stop. We do disregard the rest of the boots. The more technical aspect of Watkins Glen is left to the wayside. It'll be really exciting to see these cars do the full boot layer. However, that's
I'm not sure if we've had another incident, but I believe Jaden Russell is out. He is towed from the track.
He has. We do have a replay here. We'll go have a look at what happened to Jaden Russell here on the back straight. That's an engine, so there goes Jaden Russell's engine. Unsure. Just be on a downshift, maybe double downshift too soon if you're using a H-pan. Maybe into the wrong gear, but
no, I believe that would be caused from the damage on the front of his car from lap 1. These cars actually can heat up quite quickly on the water around this place if you got front end damage. He was probably just trying to get to the fuel window, which would have been about 3 or 4 more laps, so he could make it to the end, but obviously that hasn't happened and his engine's gone.
It hasn't happened and it's overheated, just not able to run it cool enough. So unfortunate end to Jaden Russell's race here out this evening, so that leaves 23 left running around on track. We did have another incident that was picked up in the car. It was James Kai Klink who crashed earlier on. We'll give that a quick look over. So it was Ricky Hyde just in behind. Looks like to me Ricky Hyde's just going to sense a bit of an opportunity here to get out. Comes out, gets a little bit loose, sends James Kai Klink around and does a bit of a pirouette. Ends up on the wrong side of the track that he wants to be on. Manages to rejoin safely at least, and it doesn't look like there's too much damage on that front end. Definitely not going to help your cooling, but he should be able to make it down at the fuel window and repair that so he doesn't meet the same fate as Jaden Russell just did. So a couple of unfortunate incidents ending drivers' races here tonight. Such is the way of the road course, though. No cautions to bring you back into the mix. If you have a bad night, that generally can be all she wrote, very hard to recover from. Speaks volumes to the drivers who are able to do it as well. Jump back on with Shane Van Gisbergen because he's been on a bit of a tear. It was P10 going into P9 last time we checked. He was 13 seconds off the lead, still 13 seconds off the lead, but now up into P7. So making solid progress is shown. Now we'll have to see whether he decides to pit early, try and undercut other drivers, and maybe come out with a fresher set of tyres to try and get more track position, set faster times, and a bit of clearer air. It does come with the risk of traffic. So because we have such a spread here tonight, there's not really condensed groups of cars. Everyone's kind of spread out on the track at the moment, so you'll be pretty good to drop back and find a bit of clean air, but then you might get the sporadic blue flag here or there, or a car you have to work through in order to get back further. So it is a bit of a double-edged sword if you do want to undercut. Now, leaving it late also bears its risk. Anyone who undercuts you will be faster, but then when their tyres start to degrade and yours are brand spanking new, then the shoe's on the other foot, and you can use that tyre advantage to get that track position back now. It's still pretty early for pit stops here. We're barely halfway through the race, so I doubt we'll see any of that so far. But
We are in the fuel window though, so it is an option now for people coming to pits. They will be able to make it to the end of the race. And the leader is less than 10 seconds from lap traffic as well. So I don't know if that will play in the minds of some of the drivers when they start catching lap traffic.
absolutely, some drivers do elect to pit to avoid lap traffic holding them up, but we'll see this battle on screen. It's James Klink and Tom Pritchard. Tom Pritchard just giving us a bit of the Blinky Bill treatment here, where he's in the universe and then out of the universe in the blink of an eye. So we'll see what happens with Tom Pritchard. He has backed off slightly from the 444. Probably not going to get this move done this lap, just given the distance between the cars. So keep that one in mind, but we'll jump up further as Matthew Budd is locked in battle here with Brenton Hobson, who's also got Shane Van Gisbergen bearing down on his bumper. So we'll have a three-way battle here for 5th position at the moment. Matthew Budd, very quick here in the officials, been putting down some good lap times. Has Brenton Hobson, a very quick supercars driver behind him. Obviously Shane Van Gisbergen, whose reputation does precede him when it comes to not only sim racing but also real life racing. One of the quickest guys you'll find in the V8 supercar. He's making a tear through the field, and next two targets are Brent Hobson and Matthew Budd. So we'll have to see some stellar defense here from these drivers to keep each other where they are. Lap 15. Probably not worth it to battle to the death for these positions right now. Still a long way to go in the rest of this race.
Also, one thing to know, before obviously Shane caught these guys, he was actually around about 4/10 faster than the leader. So obviously not using those tyres up, managing those tyres very well, and it's got a lot of pace in that car still.
Absolutely, he's putting it to great effect right now. Made quick work of Brenton Hobson into the penultimate corner, and now he's going to make short work of Matthew Budd here into turn 1. Matthew Budd now on the uncambered part of the racetrack, gets forced out wide, probably going to lose the position to Brenton Hobson as well. So Hobson using Shane to his advantage, getting past Matthew Budd there. So that'll be detrimental for Budd, good for Hobson, but this battle's not over just yet. Matthew Budd still in a position to get back to the bumper of Brenton Hobson. I think Shane's going to be able to just scoot away as he's got that pace advantage still. So he should be on his way off to see Kobe Williams. Now Kobe Williams will have to get excited. Shane Van Gisbergen is kind of aiming to take 4th position from you. So Matt Danson there just moving up in front of Wayne Burke as well. So Matt Danson now to P2. It's a very good move coming out of the carousel as we look, and that's going to be Wayne Burke electing to pit lap 17 here tonight. So the pit window has opened, and the first driver to take that option is Wayne Burke. So Wayne Burke coming down early here tonight. We'll have to see if any other drivers elect to come down. Don't think any else in the top 10 have decided that they want to make their way down. So just Wayne Burke for now. We did have Nick Bottrell crash just a moment earlier, so we'll have a look. This was Nick Bottrell going down into turn 1. Just comes in, hooks the inside. I believe it's going to be a loose. Yep, loose on the ripple strip, and that's going to be another hard impact into the same wall where he was at turn 1.
Lap 1, yeah, almost like pretty
lap
similar
1.
circumstances. Getting loose on those ripple strips up there.
Absolutely. There was an additional incident, so we're just going to hang on a little bit longer. I don't know if it's just him touching a wall. But it was here, so we'll jump just a bit further to it. No, that was just the same incident repeated twice. So we'll go back to live pictures. But Nick Bottrell not having a great race after a really good qualifying. He's in the pit lane currently. Wayne Burke's come back out. He's in 13th position now. So Wayne Burke, fresh set of tyres and has enough fuel to last to the end of the race. 26 laps remaining. It's going to be interesting. I feel like a lot of drivers may decide to pit here, or at least in the next couple of laps.
I reckon a lot of them are just going to split it in half.
So Newman's got a commanding lead at the moment, 5.25 seconds in front of Danson. Kobe Williams not too much further behind, 4 seconds behind Danson. I say not too much further behind, but for NASCAR standards, 4 seconds is almost an eternity. Shane Van Gisbergen still making his way through. He's now 11 seconds off the race lead, so he's gained 2 seconds over the last couple of laps whilst working through traffic. So you can see the speed that Shane has in number 97. A few other battles on track. Timo Blundell is bearing down on Aaron Dorman here. So looking to advance his position. From 21st up to 20th. Nothing else really happening on the road at the moment. A couple of drivers within a second of each other. Ruben Phelps, Dave Douglas, they're not too far apart.
The leader, Brad Newman, is actually coming up to that battle with Justin Ewing. So they're about 3 seconds ahead of him on the road. So
you can see in Blundell's car just out of shot behind the timing tower. So he's going to come up to that battle, and it'll really be a decision whether Brad wants to hit and avoid it, or he just wants to drive his way through it. I feel like Brad may just elect to say, hey, I don't care, you guys are fighting, I'm going to come through and we're going to go a lap down. So Aaron Dorman, Tim Blundell, it's probably a good time right now to get your battle sorted, see if you can use it, or alternatively, if you're Tim Blundell, maybe use Brad Newman as a little bit of a pick to get your way through past Aaron Dorman. As you see Brad there just in the background as this battle keeps going on. It's the closest one on track so far. Actually, we have Dave Douglas getting close. Kobe Williams now and Shane Van Gisbergen. We'll jump to this one. It's up the front. Shane Van Gisbergen looking to stamp his way into the top 3. I think he'd be in doubt 25 laps to go. And this is Kobe. Can you defend until the stop? Can you hold Shane up? Do you make it so that he can't advance any further? It's a lot of responsibility to keep this place at the moment, especially given the competition he's going up against here tonight. Not only from Shane, but also the rest of the drivers. Matt Danson and Kobe had a good battle earlier on, but this looks like the opportunity Shane will need. Just a door open, just enough to get the 97 in, using the camber of the track to put himself in a more advantageous position, and just slings through up into P3. Kobe Williams, a valiant effort, but not able to get that door closed. Just had too much. Shane just had too much speed coming down that straight and got to the inside.
It looked more like he just gave it to him.
It does look like
he didn't pass. He didn't. He didn't battle that too hard. he probably saw Shane coming in, looking at the time differences, and wasn't worth making his life hard.
Probably not. Still going to give him a little bit of a pep up, though. Big news, though. Loki Akujo has elected to come down pit lane. So Loki Akujo, the next car to pit after Wayne Burke. Wayne Burke is just on the edge of the top 10. He stopped on lap 16, so lap, I believe, 18 now here for, no, sorry, lap 20 for Loki Akujo. They'll drop him all the way down to 16th, so in 17th now, so he'll take a tumble all the way down. Shane Van Gisbergen, 5 seconds off Matt Danson for P2. And it's not going too far away. Now, the battle I would like to see right now is Brad Newman versus Shane Van Gisbergen. That's the battle I want to see. They're both, I would say they're both running the same setup, and that they will be quite similar on race pace. So we'll have to see that when it happens. Matt Danson coming up to lap traffic in other news. Brad Newman's already made his way through. As you can see, he's just up further in the bus stop. You can see Shane Van Gisbergen and Kobe Williams behind. If you're Matt Danson, you want to clear this group of cars as quick as you can. Tim Blundell just staying to the outside, letting Danson through. Good blue flag driving there from the number 4. Now it's Aaron Dorney's turn to make it easy for Matt Danson to get in. Holds tight on the exit of the carousel. Let's Danson through. Normally you extend all the way out there. I don't think it would be wrong to do so in that instance, but it was very clear body language from the car, from the lap car, that he's going to let you pass, and now Aaron Dorman's going to jump down the pit lane. Another driver mentioned who jumped down the pit lane was Matthew Budd. So Matthew Budd stopping on lap 21. So Matthew Budd elected to pit. He's in 12th position at the moment. So only a little bit further in front of where his teammate Loki Akujo came out.
His teammate Matty Ray's also in.
Got Matty Ray into the pit lane, 22 laps to go.
Followed by his other teammate Ruben Phelps behind him.
So it looks like SRM have decided that they wanted to split it down the middle, or at least near enough to. See, I think that would have been triggered by Loki Akujo coming out and noticing the speed difference in the tyres, and then him telling the rest of his team, hey, come get some tyres, now's the chance to make some ground, try and get some track position back. However, there's still 22 laps left to run in this race. Brad Newman, the only driver to the only driver who's got a commanding lead and has looked very comfortable in this race is Brad Newman. The rest of them have all had to fight and have traded positions with other drivers here tonight, including Danson. Danson up 5 positions from where he started tonight. So Brad Newman really just comfortable as you'd like from the word go. And I think that's going to change getting into the latter half of this race. I think we'll have a bit of a contest with Shane, who takes top spot. But there's Danson, there's Ruben Phelps. So Phelps, the next car to go a lap down. Sorry, he's just behind Loki Akujo, so Ruben Phelps. And then Riley Curtis will be the next car to go a lap down in 15th position. You can see Brad Newman just further back there. So far, an entertaining race here tonight at Watkins Glen. Definitely not the night for some drivers. So we've got 7 drivers out tonight. Tyler J. Williams, Aiden Schultz not even starting the race here tonight. Tyler J. Williams with an internet issue, unknown on Aiden Schultz. Darren McKenzie, Dean Powell, Trent Gosley, Aaron Gilbert, Jaden Russell and Nick Bottrell all crashed out tonight and all suffered significant race-ending damage. So they won't take any further part in the rest of the race tonight. We'll have to wait and have to see. Still waiting on more drivers in the top 10 to pick. The only two drivers in the top 10 who have pitted are Matthew Budd and Wayne Burke. Wayne Burke coming down on lap 16, Matthew Budd coming down on lap 21. Danson looks to get around Ruben Phelps. It's going to be a hard task for Danson to do. Tyres are significantly older than Ruben in front. I think Ruben's just sitting on the tyres now, waiting for them to come into their own. He doesn't want to use them too early because they'll leave him very much exposed to drivers who pit later on in this race. So he's got to manage them a little now. Just make sure that
leader is in the pits.
So Brad Newman has come down into pit lane, so leader into the pits. Matt Danson will take the lead as he didn't want to stop. Shane Van Gisbergen will jump up to P2. So we've got a 2-second gap between second and third now, and Newman's going to roll in. We'll see where he ends up. But Newman and Riley Curtis also jumped into the pit lane. We'll just quickly jump out. It's Matt Bailey versus Tom Pritchard at the moment into the carousel. Tom Pritchard on the outside, so he'll lose out as we run down the back straight. Matt Bailey carrying a lot more speed, just able to clear Pritchard and make very quick work. Pritchard still yet to pit. Matt Bailey came down on lap 23, so that's the tyres on display for you there. Now Brad Newman, he's come out in 6th position. New set of tyres for Brad Newman, and he'll put them to good work straight away, getting past Dave Douglas. He'll be making his way to the back of Wayne Burke. So Wayne Burke's gamble to pit early on hasn't paid off for the top spot as he runs off the track there, just maybe feeling a bit of pressure from Brad Newman behind.
Leader in the pits. Top two are in the pits.
There we go. So Danson and Shane Van Gisbergen, they'll jump into the pit lane with 18 to go. Kobe Williams will stay out. Brendan Hobson's going to stay out as well. And they'll put Wayne Burke up into third on the road provisionally until these drivers hop out. But you can already see Wayne Burke starting to struggle. He's sliding around a little bit, not really able to keep it together. So maybe coming in on lap 16, whilst it did put him back up into the top 10, it may have been a bit too early, may have been a bit too premature. We'll keep an eye. Shane Van Gisbergen, Matt Danson, Dave Douglas came in. That's Shane dropping, so Danson's going to come out.
Brad Newman is right on the tail of Wayne there as well.
Everything's happening at the moment. Much more exciting here. Yep. Brad Newman.
9 lap pressure tyres.
Yeah, 9 lap pressure tyres. It's a big difference, and we're probably going to see him move down into the bus stop if the opportunity's there. A bit of patience exercise from Brad Newman. He knows he's got the tyre advantage. He knows he can get past this car. Wayne Burke's going to do everything he can to hold him up and try to make his life a bit miserable. Try and keep him behind him as long as he can, maybe. It's going to be hard. The speed's going to be there from Newman, and it looks like Newman's going to have a good run down the inside here. It's going to be tight. He's going to send it in. He's going to try and use the camber corner just to slingshot past Wayne Burke on the outside there, and he'll get the move done up into P3 again tonight. And provisionally the race lead as the driver who has stopped and taken his, well, he's done his only stop he has to do tonight, and now he's got 2 drivers in front of him who haven't made a stop. So he's sitting at pretty to the end of this race now. It's Danson and Shane Van Gisbergen are the next 2 drivers to watch. Wayne Burke, who try and consolidate a top 10 finish out of this, I'm sure. But Matt Danson, Shane Van Gisbergen, those are drivers to watch. Matthew Budd as well, if he can make up some ground here tonight. A top 5 finish looks likely. We'll have to see.
I believe if you have a look at the replay for Shane stopping in his box, he may have had a little issue there.
We will have.
I don't know if you can bring that up.
I can bring that up, but just in other news, Kobe Williams has come down the pit lane with 16 laps to go. Brendan Hobson continues on. So that will sort that one out. We'll go try and get a look at Shane's pit stop. So this was Shane Van Gisbergen coming into his box. We'll try and get a better view of it here. And go try and get the chase angle, and we'll scrub it back a little bit. So Shane rolling into his box. Stops
Too far to the right.
Too far to the right. And has to adjust slightly. So takes a little bit of time off his stop. Makes it it's slower. Gives Matt Danson a bit more of a chance to breathe coming out of the pit lane. So a little bit of an unforced error there for Shane tonight. This proves that.
But he had just come out and set the fastest lap of the race, so the race is on.
Yeah. So, you know, it's on one hand he makes a mistake and proves he's human, and then sets a unhuman lap time on the other end of it. So that's the duality of racing.
I also believe we have had another incident. Last season's champion Lockie has exited the session.
It does look like it.
In the bus stop.
I do have that on file, and I was just about to bring it up as I saw it. Lockie Cujo crashed out. We'll get that replay up on screen. So Friday night's race winner as well, coming down into the bus stop. Looks like it was all done just by himself. Comes across, hits the wall, and spins out quite hard there. Hard impacts into the wall, and that race car is ruined. Engine's gone. And that's night over there for Lockie Cujo, so previous season champion and Friday night's race winner out of the session here tonight. So Watkins Glen, the claimer of many Xfinity cars here tonight. As we're watching that, Matt Danson's been overtaken by Shane Van Gisbergen, who now looks to set his sights on Wayne Burke for P2, so Danson down to P4. Nigel, if you were speaking, I could not hear. Just going to adjust you a little bit.
I'm back. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. We're hearing you at an end of this. It's confusing. Before iRacing was drowning your very nice voice out of my ears, and I'm very upset at iRacing for that. But we're coming to the close of the race here tonight. 14 laps to go. Shane Van Gisbergen P3, Wayne Burke P2. Brad Newman, a very comfortable race for him tonight. Pretty much led every lap apart from when he went down to the pit lane on the road. So very good night here for Brad Newman. Very good night as well for Danson and Burke. Toby Williams having a good night as well, up 5 positions. Matthew Budd, he's where he qualified, so that's never a bad thing. Really looking to try and sneak another position out, maybe from Wayne Burke, maybe from Matt Danson if he can get a wriggle on. But at the moment he's got Kobe Williams behind, who may want to take that P5 position away from him.
Whoa! From second position, Wayne Burke is down the pits again.
Yeah, so I was just saying that. Wayne Burke deciding to jump back down the pits. Maybe thinks the tyres are too far gone, that he can't finish the race with this set. Be interesting to know the reason. Maybe trying to correct the early stop and gain track position. As there's tyres definitely going on that vehicle. So Matthew Budd, he'll pick up a position. Toby Williams as well. By virtue of Wayne Burke going into the pits, Wayne Burke, he'll come out P10 or P9, sorry. So not too bad. It's just how far back he is now. So 41 seconds from the lead of the race. Might be able to make it up a little bit. Has to make it past this lap car first. You can see him just skating around the outside there on the cold tyres. Definitely not liking being worked that hard from the jump. But Wayne Burke determined to make up positions. May spin out here. Manages to hold it. Ooh, it's a very very tight, risky game when Burke's playing, running through the bus stop on cold tyres like that.
It's another impressive drive tonight by Matt Bailey. Another good result for him.
Absolutely. Looking at him before, up 9 positions here tonight in the 117. Having a really good drive so far. Looking maybe to pick up. Oh no, he's a bit too far back from Hobson. I thought they were a lot closer than they were. Looking
Hobson
to pick up
also
another
had some
top
pressure.
10. Yes.
Hobson went in lap 29, so he's probably for the guys that have one
He's
stop
about
in the
6
race.
laps
he's
hours,
impressive
yeah.
guy.
He's about 6 hours, 6 laps ahead of Bailey on tyres, so. Well, 6 laps fresher, I should say, not ahead. Couple of drivers there. Matthew Budd currently under siege from Kobe Williams in the 994 car. Both drivers having a very good race here this evening. Both would love a top 5. The smoke coming from the left side is strong. Looks like a Riley Curtis maybe have his race done. We're going to watch this battle all the way down. Yeah, that's Riley Curtis in the pit lane with engine damage. So his race looks to be over here tonight. Right, Kobe Williams looking down the inside. Oh, he gets it locked up and they're going to crash. They're going to come together here tonight. Kobe Williams just locking it up, getting it a bit sideways, getting out of sorts, just careens into the side of Matthew Budd. Both drivers now righted and going, but it just lets Hobson through. Hobson didn't even have to work for it, just got a gift there through the mistake of Kobe Williams into Matthew Budd. That's not going to be helping any relations between these two drivers going forward for the rest of the season. But Kobe Williams will put Matthew Budd right back under siege. And it'll be as if that never happened in a lap's time, and maybe a bit of feeling is going to come into this race shortly. Maybe there's a bit of a feeling to be had for this one, but Brent Hobson's just licking his lips.
If you go to the championship standing, Matty Buddy's driving the edge. He's in currently 12th position. So I believe he'll keep his head down, obviously maximising the points return. He needs those points.
Absolutely, he needs all the points he can get. Staying in front of Kobe Williams here would definitely aid him, but it's not going to hurt him too badly if he comes in. But it looks like Kobe Williams actually elects to come down the pit lane, so Matthew Budd is spared, now has to contend with
A little battle going on at the
Matt
moment
Bailey.
between Ruben Philp and Dave Douglas as well. These two guys have been going hammer and tongs for the last couple of laps.
Absolutely, we're just about to swap over to that one. Dave Douglas and Ruben Phelps there, looking to get spicy down the front straight. Getting very close coming through the penultimate corner and the final corner. Dave Douglas just trails, so just going to need a little bit more speed. He won't be able to make a move this time by him, but he'll try and
That's another spin.
work his way forward now. Definitely the closest battle on track. We do have a couple of visions to go back through, but keep an eye on this battle just currently. Anticipate it being solved just in the end. Kobe Williams making his way past one of the Blondell cars for position there. 9 laps to go in the race this evening. As we see Dave Douglas just get a little bit sideways coming out into the carousel. He's going to try and bring all the speed he can down the back straight. Gets sideways again, slides the rear of the car around. Doesn't get the traction he needs. Loses a bit of ground there with Ruben Phelps, but overall I think Dave Douglas has the faster car. He's able to make his way through these corners just a little bit faster. Ruben Phelps getting a little bit out of sorts there. So both these drivers a bit wiggly.
I believe Kobe Williams was actually arrived with why he had to go down the pit lane for that incident. He hit the 9 incident limit.
You may be correct. That may have been the one just to send him over the edge. The 4X contact and a couple of off tracks. Yeah, that would definitely do it. So good call there from Jason. Didn't even cross my mind that we'd see a drive through here tonight. Even though it probably should have, because this is where we get your 1X incident points way more regularly than we would with our regular ovals. I'm just not used to it, I guess. But Dave Douglas, looks like the battle's fizzled out for the time being. So whilst we've got a bit of time, we'll quickly go look at what happened to Marty Mitchell. So this was Marty Mitchell just earlier in the race. As it looks to have bugged out. There we go. This is what happened to Marty Mitchell earlier in the race. Just coming down into the bus stop here tonight. Takes the bus stop and just loses it around into the latter half and manages to get going. It was unfortunately, it wasn't the end for Marty Mitchell as he comes down into turn 1 and 2. And he'll find himself on the wrong side of the racetrack here again, so just sliding his way through. Marty Mitchell being a bit adventurous here tonight. We'll jump back further up. We'll do a few battles. Aaron Dorman, he's on the tail of James Copeland, so we're back on live pictures. Dave Douglas.
Quick shout out to Marty Mitchell as well. He's here every single race. He's here, puts in a hell of an effort, lots of practice, and it's good to see him improving every race as well.
Absolutely. It's always nice to see Marty out there. He's one of the good racers. He knows he's not got the speed, but he's never impeding anyone. He always is respectful when he's on track. So a big shout out to Marty Mitchell. We hope he's enjoying his night here at Watkins Glen. We've got a battle here between Aaron Dorman and Henry King going on. So we'll keep an eye on that one. We also have Ruben Phelps, Dave Douglas still going on. It's gotten a little bit further apart. And we had Kobe Williams and Matthew Raymond, or Ricky Hyde, sorry, going at it just before. Kobe Williams coming out on top. Set his sights on Matthew Raymond, but Dave Douglas, Henry King and Ruben Phelps, they're all embroiled in battles at the moment. Henry King more so, quite handy on a road course. Henry King won most of the playoff races that were on road courses last season in the X-Series. So we know he can do it. I think he's had a bit of a tumultuous race here tonight where he hasn't been able to do it. Now, interesting, Andy Barber back down the pit lane. So maybe another unscheduled stop for Andy. Maybe a bit of damage there for the number 5 car. We'll have to see.
I believe he's coming down for damage.
It looks to be so. Henry King, Aaron Dorman, though, they're going to have it out down into turn 1. Henry King with the inside advantage here into turn 1. Just trying to get all the way down. He'll get the move done before the apex of the corner. It should be signed, sealed and delivered here for Henry King, going up the S's down the back straight.
Andy had to do a drive-through, for instance.
I believe he's elected to call it.
I believe he's in pit lane, so I would suggest that's damage related as well, maybe incidents.
We also have him coming down the pit lane, so he actually did drive through. So the initial one was a drive through from the pit lane, and then I believe it was an elected withdrawal from the race here tonight as he pulled off and just decided to call it a night here with 5 to go. So we'll jump back live pictures now. Brad Newman 5 laps to go, 5 seconds in front of Shane Van Gisbergen. Now, I don't think Shane's going to be able to get to Newman with the current lap times they're doing. I know Shane's about 0.6 of a second clearer. It's not enough at this point to get him to Brad Newman, and let alone to get him past Brad Newman. So looks like we're going to have a Lobs Esports 1-2 finish now. I don't think any of us were doubting that it would be one of these guys here at the pointy end of the podium come the end of the race. So very good drive here for the Lobs guys. Matt Danson, very good, another very good night for him, finishing P3, or nearly finishing P3. He's got Hobson behind, so that's the battle we're going to watch. Hopefully it can get started for us. Maybe Danson probably hoping he can maintain that about 1.5 second gap back to Brendan Hobson. Wayne Burke and Matt Bailey are now going to lock horns and Wayne Burke with the fresher rubber should be able to get this move done coming down the front straight into turn 1. Should be able to get on the brakes later. Should be able to just get overlap. Matt Bailey, I think they're just letting him have it, not fighting it all too hard. Probably aware Wayne went down for another set of tyres and just looking to consolidate a good top 10 finish here tonight. Henry King just went down into the pit lane, so I think that may be another drive through for incident points here tonight. Have a look around, but I just want to keep an eye on this Hobson-Danson affair at the moment. They're both flirting on the edge of a second gap at the moment, so have to see what happens going forward. 3 laps to go. Can Hobson reel in Danson? Looks like everyone else is settled in the positions where they're going to end up tonight. Wayne Burke may be able to run down Matthew Budd. He was about a second quicker than him last lap. He's got 3 laps to go, so Wayne Burke could pick off a top 5 finish here tonight, which would be very good as the only driver who stopped twice. His teammate Brent Hobson is closed within 0.8 of a second now to Matt Danson. 3 laps to go. Watch this one with bated breath. But I feel like Matt Danson might just have enough left in the tank to keep Hobson behind and make it, or at least make his life extremely difficult coming to the line. It's that point where you defend with all you've got if you need to. So you're going to have a cracking battle here to end the race. Now Shane Van Gisbergen was about 7 tenths quicker than Brad Newman that time around. I still don't think it's going to be enough for him to get to that front spot. Maybe if a few things were different, maybe if there wasn't a few incidents, maybe a few less cars to pass, and maybe Shane would have been able to get to the front, but still a very good drive to start from the pit lane and end up in P2. This battle's down to 0.6 of a second now on Matt Danson versus Wayne Burke. Right on board quickly with Wayne Burke and see how he's handling it. Sorry, not Wayne Burke, Brent Hobson. Both driving a very similar painted Synergy Sim Racing car. Both electing to run the blue. And you can see just how much he hops over that curve, how hard he takes the bus stop. He's getting to the back of Matt Danson right now. It's within 0.5 of a second here, coming to the white flag. Just not enough at the moment. Needs to get a bit more speed. We'll have 1 more lap to try and make this move. Only 0.4 in it. He's clawing back 10th after 10th. He's trying to make it work. It's a desperate run to the end here. We have to keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on the 81 and the 30. That's the battle to watch for the rest of the night. It's going to be Brad Newman at this point sailing to an easy, very well earned easy victory here tonight. Shane Van Gisbergen as well, a very good ride from the pit lane to P2. At least at the moment, there could be more, but I believe it's all she wrote in terms of that. But it's the battle here. It's on now. They're with Brent Hobson. He's within striking range. He just needs to get under the skin of Danson. Needs to make him make a slip up coming to the final corner here. See if he can get him off balance off that. But we're going to switch over to Brad Newman as he comes across the line. Shane Van Gisbergen taking P2. We'll jump back. Matt Danson. He's going to battle with Brent Hobson all the way to the end of this race. Matt Danson's going around, so it's going to be Brent Hobson coming through to take P3. Matt Danson just holding his brakes still. I don't think Matt's going to be happy with that one at all tonight. Brent Hobson's going to come down the home straight and he'll finish in P3. Matt Danson just towed to pit lane. That was enough for Matt Danson.
I believe
think he's gone straight out of the session.
Matt was out of fuel.
Was Matt out of fuel?
I believe so.
So Matt
I
Danson will try and get a look coming down the
I
back
thought I heard
straight.
something on the radio.
He slows down a lot here. Just doesn't accelerate out of the corner. Maybe you're right. Maybe out of fuel. We'll have to hear more from Matt Danson later on. But that's certainly a way to end the race. Is you're 2 corners out. You just need to hang on, and you just ran out of fuel again. Maybe we'll have to hear more from Matt Danson. Either way, Brendan Hobson making his way home in P3. We'll get the race results in a moment. We'll just jump back to the live picture. So we'll get the race results up here tonight. The official results for your race at Watkins Glen here tonight. Brad Newman taking out the win for Lobs Esports. Shane Van Gisbergen coming behind in P2. Brendan Hobson, a very thrilling battle there at the end with Matt Danson, comes home P3. Wayne Burke in P4. Matthew Bird in P5. Matt Bailey's in 6th position tonight. A good drive from both of those two. Matthew Raymond finishing in 7th. Kobe Williams in 8th. Ricky Hyde in 9th. Ruben Phelps rounds out your top 10. Then you've got Dave Douglas, last driver to finish on the lead lap. All the cars a lap or more down now. It's Matt Danson just running out of fuel, I believe, at the end there. Tom Pritchard in 13th, James Klink 14th, Aaron Dorman in 15th, Tim Blundell in 16th position tonight, Henry King in 17th, Brian Blundell in 18th. 4 laps down was Marty Mitchell, and then we've got drivers who didn't make the end of the race. Andy Barber, Riley Curtis, Nick Bottrell, Lachlan Acugio, Jaden Russell, Aaron Gilbert, Dean Powell, Trent Gosley, Darren McKenzie, Aiden Schultz, and Tyler J. Williams, all not making it to the checkered flag here tonight. But that was Watkins Glen. We'll have a couple interviews coming up just shortly as we wait for the drivers to jump into the green room. We may not get the top 2 tonight, but we will. We'll get Brendan Hobson for P3.
Brenton Hobson, congratulations on your 3rd place tonight. Tell us a bit about your race.
Thanks, guys. As a bit of a surprise, I think. I don't think I was ever a 3rd place car tonight, but I mean, you take a podium if you get one.
Yeah, it was one of those ones we weren't too sure on the last lap if Matt ran out of fuel or not. We weren't too sure what was going on.
Yeah, he did. He did run out of fuel. I figured he was either short on fuel or like didn't take tyres or something, because he was certainly faster than I was and was coming back to me. But I sort of twigged on that it was the fuel thing, and yeah, just at the last couple of corners there, I tried to get on the brakes early and on the throttle early and get the run off the left-hander and make a move down the inside at the final corner if I could. And he ran out of fuel right on the apex, and I was sort of already in the gas. And by the time I twigged on that he was not going forwards, it was too late. I tried to miss him, but I just stayed him. I mean, I feel bad for him because he would have coasted to the finish and still got a decent result, but because he got spun, I guess that put an end to his night. But yeah, I guess that's the gamble you play on fuel. If you run it that tight that you run out before the end, that you risk getting hit from behind, I suppose, which is, I mean, it's a shame, but that's just how it worked out.
Well, this is your 2nd start, I believe, in the eSeries. Is that right?
Yeah, your guess is probably, I think I might have done 3, actually. I think I might have done 2 on
You've
the
done
oval
3, so you finally got to the top 3, and you've got a big team celebrating your 10 years in sim racing with Synergy as well, so that's a good result for you guys tonight. Yeah, a quick shout out to all of your team sponsors, family, friends, whoever you want to have a shout out to.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a shout out to the guys in the team. We've got a handful of us that come and run in this series. We're all having a heap of fun. Obviously, we had Wayne and Jay Russ out here tonight having a bit of a bash, and yeah, it's a cool year for us at Synergy. We've been going for 10 years, like you said, so we're sort of a celebratory tour this year, which is kind of a cool thing for us. But yeah, to the sponsors on the car. Sorry, my thing just went off here. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, shout out
That's
to all the
all right.
sponsors on the car, everyone at the team, Watercraft Performance Centres, Dr. Epoxy, Works Racing Components, the Speedway Shop, and all the others. Those, they help us make the wheels go around every time. And while I'm here, also just want to throw a shout out to everyone involved with the league. It's not easy to put this sort of stuff on for everybody, and a lot of work involved. So I know that us as a team really appreciate all the time and effort that goes into it, and of course you guys as well for putting on a broadcast for everybody. It's really awesome.
Well, no, well, congratulations on your third place tonight, and yes, we'll hopefully see you next week.
Yeah, cheers. Thanks, guys.
There was Brenton Hobson. I don't think the other Brad Newman or Shane Van Gisbergen's coming tonight, so we can wrap it
I
up.
don't think they are. So we are going to call it there for Watkins Glen here tonight in the Australian NASCAR eSeries. Again, thank you to both Jason and Nigel for joining me in the booth tonight. Thank you for all the drivers who turned up tonight. We will see you for the season finale, or the regular season finale, I should say, on the Truck Series on Friday night. That's 190 laps at Bristol. So get ready for some short track action, and we'll have a cracking end to the regular season. We'll see who finally makes it into the playoff picture and who misses out. So that's going to be exciting for next week. Again, I've been Bryce. Thank you, Jason and Nigel, for jumping in the booth tonight, and we'll see you all on Friday.